I call this meeting of the Duncanville Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that the meeting has been duly called and that the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Good evening. Our mission at Duncanville ISD is to engage and equip and empower all our scholars to achieve their unique potential. We are now going to closed session. Okay, we're back from closed session. We'll move on with our agenda items. Opening ceremonies. Trustee Veracruz will lead our prayer. Trustee Fahey will say the pledge, I hope.
Good evening, everyone. If you would just bow your head with me. Heavenly Father, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for all your blessings, for the successful outcomes of our school events, and for all our staff members, both the teaching and support members. We ask that you bless them abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. In his mighty name, amen.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor to the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Okay, we move on with the superintendent's report. You're up.
Thank you, President McNeely, board members, those that are in attendance. I have just a few items to report on during the superintendent's report. The first item is new teacher orientation. We're excited to welcome new teachers to our school district. This year has been a challenge like none other, so to come into the teaching profession at this time where we are in the status of education is to be commended. So I'm excited to be able to welcome them and be on the July 20th. We'll be at the Teaching and Learning Center. We'll be welcoming about 150 new teachers to the Duncanville ISD family. Some of those teachers will be coming to us from other districts. Some of those teachers will be coming to us first time in the classroom. And so over the course of 3 days, they'll be engaged in some onboarding and training to get them acclimated into our school district as we prepare for the first day of school and beyond. Some of the opportunities that they'll be engaged in is how to establish effective classroom routines, how to use data to foster student growth, the importance of time management, and how to build partnerships with parents through communication. So that's just a few of the things that we'll be focusing on. Of course, would love to see our school board members on the 20th, opportunity for our new teachers and new employees coming into the district to get a chance to meet you and see you as well. The next item I have is our convocation. We have 2 weeks until school starts, 2 weeks. So the summer has just gone by and we are already back in. So our theme this year, first of all, our convocation is on August 3rd. We're going to be doing some different things at this convocation to try to infuse some energy in ways that we haven't done before. So I'm excited about the new things that we're going to be doing. We're scheduled to have it at Sandra Meadows Arena. And so our theme this year is Duncanville, DVille All In, hashtag DVille All In. Together we all win. And so we'll be talking about what together means, what we means, what all and what when means in Duncanville. We'll have several student groups that will be participating to help energize our staff. We have a featured speaker by the name of Eddie. He goes by the name of Eddie B. And he's well known for turning education matters into fun and lighthearted moments of laughter. And at this time, I mean, we can certainly use a lot of laughter and getting people to feel really good about starting back the school year. So we'll have convocation on Wednesday, August 3rd. The doors will open at 8:15 with a vendor fair, and then the main event begins at 9:15. The next item I have is the first day of school, which is, again, 2 weeks away, Monday, August 8th. And so we always celebrate the first day of school with really a big focus on hashtag DVille Day 1. And so this is an opportunity for students and parents and principals all across the district to send us their first day of school photos, and we chronicle those on our multiple social media platforms just to capture the excitement around the first day of school. Also, board members, that's an opportunity for you. Customarily, you all have showed up at a school of your choice and helped to usher in students on that first day of school. So I'm looking forward to seeing you as well. We'll be capturing you in a lot of the social media activities. So we're really excited. We have a lot of activities focused on our students and highlighting the excitement centered around first day of school. And then the last thing I have is the Meet the Teacher Night. We're already planning for Meet the Teacher Night. And so we have the dates secured already. This obviously is an opportunity to help our parents and students get acclimated to the new year. We'll have Meet the Teacher Night for each grade that's listed here, and so we're hopeful that all of our parents will be able to make it out to see their students and meet the teachers and get acclimated with our school facilities. So a lot of activity as we work toward the beginning of school, and as we know, the students will be here August 8th. So ready or not, here they come. I'm excited about a new school year, and we're going to meet and beat whatever challenges that we face. That's just what we do here in Duncanville. That concludes my reports, President McNeely. Oh, Connie Wallace.
Got any communication?
No communications.
Okay. We'll move on to our consent agenda. Do I have a motion? No, that's, yeah. Ms. Fahey,
Mr. President, I would like to move item 8A, B, C, D, E, and F to the consent agenda.
Second.
any questions?
President McNeely, I have a question about item D, the STEM scope science, the numbers on that page. I see two different numbers. I see a suggested motion number of 93,410.90, and then the total number of 141,131.90. Dr. Jordan, would you explain the difference in those numbers, please?
Yes, Ms. Phillips, that is an oversight on my part. Under the suggested motion, it should say $141,131.90. Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's vote on moving the items to the consent agenda. All in favor? Motion carries. Now let's do the consent.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that we approve the consent agenda along with the added items of 8A, B, C, D, E, and F.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor? Passes unanimous.
Yes, dear.
Write that down. Okay, let's move on to the last on the action agenda, and it is the one that I'll get it in a second.
Okay.
Okay, endorse, 8G, endorsing a candidate for the TASB Board of Directors, Region 10, Position B. We take no action.
Yes, we just, if you take no action, we all agree on that, or you all agree on that, then that tables it.
Everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we'll move on to information.
Good evening, President McNeely, trustees, and Dr. Smith. In alignment with Strategic Priority Operational Excellence Goal 3, I'm pleased to present to you this evening the first reading of Policy Update 119. As you are aware, our district partners with the Texas Association of School Boards, or TASB, to prepare its policies. When policy updates are received, senior leadership reviews the legal and local policies to ensure compliance and alignment before sharing with the board. Tonight, I will be sharing 10 local policy updates. You have been provided the annotated local policies in your packet this evening, along with TASB's explanatory notes. For sake of time, I'll just provide a quick overview of the changes, but if you would like more information or clarification, I'm happy to dive deeper into the recommended revisions. CPC Local is our first policy recommended for revision regarding records management. The revisions are to align with the updates by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission on maintaining electronic records. Next, DMA Local was updated to align with Senate Bill 1267 that requires the board to annually approve the district's professional development plan. Language from Senate Bill 9 has been added to EHAA Local, which requires the School Health Advisory Council to make recommendations for instructing students on the topics of child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking. The policy also requires a board resolution for the SHAC committee to convene and hold required public meetings before making any recommendations. Next, EHB Local added the requirement of regular training for teachers of students with dyslexia in order to meet the TEA requirements. EHBAA is our next local policy. Language was added here to note the requirement that an individualized education plan, or IEP, it must be developed for students transitioning from the Early Childhood Intervention Program, or ECI. Under Gifted and Talented, EHBB Local has been revised to reflect House Bill 1525 by deleting the requirement to certify our GT program annually, or Gifted and Talented program annually, with the commissioner. EIF Local has been adjusted to add ways in which students can confirm completion of the FAFSA and TAFSA, I'll never get those right, for financial aid. You've already approved FDA Local in May. TASB has just included your approved changes in this update as well. The 9th policy revision at FFBA Local removed the annual state reporting requirement for trauma-informed care training and moved it to be included in the board-approved professional development plan instead. And finally, in FFH Local, language has been modified to note that parent communication is required in situations where dating violence is reported. This concludes my overview of the local policy revisions in Update 119. Our next steps will be, of course, listening to any recommendations or revisions from the board and adjusting the policies as requested prior to recommending for approval next month in August. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Jordan, you're up now. Like he didn't know.
Good evening, President McNeely, members of the board, Dr. Smith. It is our pleasure to provide you with an overview of instructional materials for the 2022 PE Health Adoption. At this time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to our Director of Curriculum Instruction, Tina Bynum.
Thank you. Good evening, President McNeely, Board of Trustees, Dr. Smith. At this time, I would like to provide you with information regarding Proclamation 2022, which according to TEA's Instructional Materials Adoption, covers physical education and health. Next slide. In starting the search for a instructional resource to meet the requirements of Proclamation 2022, we did come up with some non-negotiables that our selection criteria would include, which included alignment with our PE and health TEKS, which are established by TEA and the State Board of Education, compliance with House Bill 1525, which includes a family engagement components for PE and health, reflective of the diverse students and the community values of Duncanville ISD. Next slide. The timeline for our selection is included on this slide. It began with a district needs assessment, which currently the district does not have a common resource that is used in our PE and health classes. It is often a campus decision or even a teacher decision. So we just quickly discovered there is a need for a district instructional material. We also attended a Region 10 vendor showcase starting back in December. An IMAT committee was established, which is an instructional materials allotment team that were provided training, and they were also given access to the print materials with the instructional materials vendors from Region 10. The three that we looked at were Lesson B, Quaver Education, and Goodheart-Wilcox Publishing Company. Our IMAT team consisted of 18 members. 8 of those members were district or campus administrators from the director level down to a campus level assistant principal. The remaining 10 were district PE and health teachers that were recommended by campus administrators and by our district assistant athletic director. So our committee member was comprised of teachers from all grade bands, from all campuses within our district. The next step was a publisher presentation where we invited the publishers here to our district, and they presented to our IMAT, and our committee members used a rubric that was established with the assistance of TEA and Region 10. And then we also compiled the data from those rubrics. We then, in following TEA's recommendation, we held a public review, which was set up at our 3 intermediate campuses here in the district, and allowed the public and community members to access any of the materials for view and for evaluation, which was open to them from February 3rd through March the 11th, 2022. Next slide. Based on the evaluation rubrics that was completed by our committee members, on a scale of 1 to 50, the 3 resources with Lesson B receiving an average score of 27.6 points out of 50, Quaver received an average score of 31 points out of 50, and Goodheart-Wilcox received an average score of 38 out of 50. The rubric did include topics such as alignment with organization and structure. We wanted to make sure that it provided high quality and structure with rigor and complexity. We wanted to make sure that assessment resources were provided with monitoring tools. We wanted to ensure that there were supports for our special education, our EL population, and differentiation, supports for SEL and positive character traits, and also customizable for our parent opt-in for designated topics. Next slide. Based on the evaluation and the committee recommendation, we have determined that we believe the best fit for selection for Duncanville ISD is the Goodheart-Wilcox publishing material. It is 100% aligned with state standards. It is also, of the three, the only resource that is approved by the State Board of Education for Proclamation 2022. It does include assessment tools for our teachers. It has compatibility with our technology integration. There is an ease of use for teachers, students, and parents, and the family engagement components and parent opt-in features are in alignment with House Bill 1525. Next slide. Our next steps is that we would order the instructional materials pending final board approval. We would receive, catalog, and deliver the instructional materials to campuses, and then the final step would be providing professional development for staff through their PLCs and on district PD days to make sure that our teachers are very familiar with how to use the resources. Are there any questions?
I like that it's family-friendly. That's what it seems like y'all selected. Good job.
Dr. Iron?
I have a question.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
instructional material, is this, what percentage of it would you say is online? And you can answer that one.
Yeah, so our student material is print, but our teachers can access the entire components digitally and print any of the materials to share with students, to share with parents. We can also provide parents with a digital login so that they too can access it digitally.
So are these consumables?
Consumables, these are hardbound textbooks.
Okay, so no consumables?
No
So it's just
consumables.
the information in text?
Yes.
Okay.
So the textbooks would be for the health classes?
Health and PE.
Okay. Oh, for PE too?
Yes, ma'am.
Would that be student
Stud-
handbooks?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
So we'll finally have a real curriculum for phys ed and health.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
I love it.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Is there any communication from citizens? Okay. Seeing this draws to a close, anybody got anything they want to add? No. I do. I just want to thank Dr. Smith for scheduling a board meeting on my 41st anniversary and making me a real hero at home. So I just want to shout out to my wife for putting up with me for 41 years.
Congratulations.
And we are adjourned.